Man.
Oh, he's very familiar with me. In fact, he's very familiar with L.C. Duncan. Aren't you, Alexander? He sends his regards.
Okay, y'all. So the kids of the Black Hampton decided that they are not going to wait on their parents to do something. They're going to do something about Eli Bradshaw, y'all. And of course, they make bad decisions. So we already knew that. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, EJ. I am back with another Black Hamptons review. And today we're talking about episode 7, y'all. So let's get into it. All right. So when the episode opens up, we are going to see that Eli has caused super havoc. You're going to hear like explosions as we meet up with each of the people in the Black Hamptons. Of course, Eli is tearing down another home and he is trying to take over. Now, the title of this episode is called Gentrification, and you already know what Eli is up to. Now, the people in the Black Hamptons are supposed to care about their community. They're supposed to want the Black Hamptons to stay black. But at the end of the day, the color green means more to a lot of people. And that's how Eli is getting everyone to give up their properties. He's offering them way more money than what their property is worth, and they just can't say no. Now, another thing we are going to see is that Sergeant Lane is actually going to get kicked out of his home as well, because the former landlord, who happens to be Eli Bradshaw, because this was another property that he purchased, sold it to Bobby the Beast Boy. He sold it because it wasn't beachfront property. Right now, Eli is all about the beachfront property. And so he sold it to Bobby, and we all know that Bobby has an ulterior motive. Okay, y'all. So meanwhile, Sydney and Anthony are going to make up. You know, he apologizes, she apologizes, and they're able to move on. Now, speaking of making up, your girl Karen just makes just stupid decisions, y'all. Like, I am so over her at this point. Now, Bobby the Beast Boy is going to show up with this grand gesture. He's going to bring in all these roses and all this stuff, and he's apologizing for basically cheating on her and treating her like she wasn't Jack. And, you know, he brings out this chain, and I get it, the glitz, the glam. He even tells her, like, look, hey, I need you to go ahead and go pack your stuff, and you know, you're about to come home. Now, she just had this amazing night with Martin, who actually never cheated on her, by the way. Now, is he a mama's boy? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, he still never cheated on her. And it looks like they had a pretty good time, and they were trying to make amends, but she's all caught up in Bobby the Beast Boy. So she goes up there and gets her stuff like a good little girl, and she's ready to go back and deal with his shenanigans. Now, meanwhile, your boy Moses is out here doing the most. He's out here strong-arming Everett Bennett, y'all. But y'all know I can't even stand Everett anyway. But Moses is like, look, you took my money. So turns out the money that Everett actually stole from this whole crypto thing, the reason why he's even back in the Black Hamptons, actually, it was Moses's company, and so he essentially stole his money, and now he wants his money back. So he makes him sign into his crypto account, and he has $30 million in there, and so now he takes $25 million of it and tells him that the other $5 million is a loan and that he needs to pay him 20% interest. But at the end of the day, I'm not even mad at that, because Everett was a you-know-what anyway, so it is what it is. That's what he get. So anyway, y'all, it turns out Anthony is ducking and dodging Alexander and Aries. So it turns out Bobby the Beast Boy always had some ulterior motives. Now, once again, he did buy Sergeant Lane's home, and when Peter goes to confront him about buying the home, he gives him this story about, I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted you to be able to give your dad the title to the home or the deed to your home and all of this other stuff. But Peter is just so blind. He cannot see through Bobby the Beast Boy, and Karen is just back there co-signing. Karen is just working my nerves, y'all. I just need her to just stop. I need her to not be an airhead, but right now she just giving off all sorts of airhead, especially when she was over there talking about, you ain't never lied, daddy. Like, come on, Karen. Really? I can't, y'all.
You ain't never lied, daddy.
I just really can't. So anyway, they are going to have a community meeting about trying to save the Black Hamptons, and really no one really has any solutions, because what they need is money in order to be able to fight Eli, because Eli is not actually doing anything illegal. Like, he's doing everything by the book. So if they don't have the money to fight him, they're not going to be able to fight him. And someone makes a really good point, or Vanessa makes a good point rather, about people not even paying their dues. So how are we going to get everybody to pool money in to be able to help? They're going to need at least $50 million in order to be able to fight. So, you know, they're not going to be able to get that up. And then we're going to see that Tyler, who is Anthony's son, he's going to get really upset. He feels like they're not doing enough to save the Black Hamptons, and he feels like they're going to have to do something themselves. And of course, we all know that when the kids get involved, they're going to try to do something crazy, and of course they do. So they band together and come up with this idea of how they're going to fix it and fight Eli. And all they do is break and enter, which is breaking the law, and then they put sugar inside the tanks of all the machines. So they've committed illegal acts in order to try to save the Black Hamptons. Like, I mean, I admire their tenacity. They actually did try to do something, so I'm not really mad at them for that. I'm just saying, come on now. Listen to the old heads on this one. You gotta fight the right way. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up in a worse situation. So anyway, we're going to see that Anthony is still ducking and dodging Cora, and Mike is going to tell him, like, look, we need you to answer that phone because we don't want to end up dead. So he finally answers the phone. Cora tells him that he needs to meet them at the warehouse. Now, it turns out that Malcolm actually did help get his daddy out. He got the money from Vanessa, and they put that money together, and that's how he was able to get out. So I think in my last video, I thought it was someone else, so I did want to correct that. Now, Aries and Cora are going to have that meeting with Anthony and Mike, and it's gonna be a whole mess because they're gonna get caught up in a lie, and Cora is all like, I stole the phones, and then it turns out that the phones don't work. So I figured that Cora stole the phones himself from the warehouse, and then he finds out that the phones don't work, so it's all a big mess. Now, before the big save comes in, I do want to just travel back real quick because Vanessa did meet up with Moses, and they did have a meeting, and Moses wanted to know everything. He wanted to thank her for giving, you know, Malcolm the money, and then she tells him everything. Now, of course, we don't see this conversation, but we do know how Vanessa got the money. So going back to this whole situation with Anthony and Mike and how Cora is basically, you know, threatening them, and in walks Moses, who actually saves their behinds because Vanessa told him about how he was the one who gave her the money, who essentially helped him to get out. So now, of course, when another bigger, badder person comes in, of course, Cora is going to fold, and that's exactly what he does. He folds, and then we get another crossover because Ronald Sims is there, and Ronald Sims tells him, like, look, hey, you know, L.C. Duncan sends his regards to you. And we all know that Alexander Cora doesn't want anything to do with L.C. Duncan after he took him down the way that he did. So Cora eventually decides that he's just going to go. He tells Anthony that he wants all of his money back. And that's pretty much where that ends. And then we're going to see Moses and Anthony shake hands. He's going to tell him that Vanessa is the one who told him about it. But something tells me that we're about to see a whole nother situation. So if Anthony does get into business with Moses, this is going to be interesting, and I certainly can't wait to see how all of this plays out. So anyway, y'all, that's what's up with the Black Hamptons Season 2, Episode 7. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What did y'all think about Karen and her shenanigans, Bobby the Beast Boy buying up the house, and how do you think this is all going to play out with Eli Bradshaw? Meanwhile, guys, if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and like the video, share it with somebody. If you're finding my channel for the very first time, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to your girl channel, turn on your notifications so that you do not miss out on any of my future Black Hamptons video. Meanwhile, YouTube says that you might just like this video next. Go ahead and take a look. Until next time, guys.